Why am I making this? I shouldn't have to, but I kind of have to at this point. I need to talk because this is I I have to get stuff off my chest real quick. Let's talk. In the middle of April, us Mets fans were having aspirations of World Series appearance after an 11 game win streak and starting out the season 12-1. But now we're can we just make the wild card at least? Ridiculous at this point. Like Asdrubal Cabrera and Yoenis Cespedes cannot carry an entire lineup when everyone else is just slinging this bat like it's a freaking frisbee and not hitting the ball. This is getting ridiculous at this point. Start with what I think is going bad, and then I'll give my opinion on how we can fix this. But it's just terrible. Like the Nationals that should be running over this division again is, per usual over the last 3 years, is struggling like this. We're like the next team up. We have to take advantage. But I guess we're not anymore. I guess not. Now, before I, start going ham, let me just say something. I think Mickey Callaway is doing a fine job as our head coach. We're struggling a little bit, but Matt's had a good outing last night against the Rockies. I don't think his job's in jeopardy. I think he's doing a fine job. There's nothing wrong with Mickey Callaway right now. But, you know, I have to talk about these players real quick. Before Vargas came back, and while we were on this torrid hot streak to start the season, everybody was contributing. The pitching rotation was solid. The bullpen was incredible. Jerry's Familia was locking up games left and right. And the hitting was there. We were coming back from games. We had the heart. We kept coming back and winning games. I don't know what happened to it. I genuinely don't know what's happened to it. Like this is starting to become a train wreck, and I just need to get stuff off my chest real quick. Say this one thing. What the hell happened to Michael Conforto? His first game back, he had a home run against the Nationals, and I was getting excited. It's like we had the pop back. It was insane. Ever since then, I don't know what happened to him. If there's still something wrong with his shoulder or something. He, I don't remember the last time he's hit the ball. I don't remember the last time he's been on base, to be honest. I mean, it's just I have no words. I can't explain. He needs to hit the ball if we have a chance to win games because this is I don't know what happened to him. It's like somebody put a rock in his bat and it's hard to swing anymore. I don't know. He can't hit the ball anymore. I don't know why, but he needs to fix this. This past Friday night against the Rockies, he had a chance to put the team on his back and win the game, but he struck out for the fourth time in that game to lose. Since hitting that home run in the first game back, he's only had a batting average of 187 and only having 6 RBI. I'll say one thing though, it's a good thing that we finally got rid of Matt Harvey. I mean, he was a train wreck and he was trash starting and bullpen this season. This season, while he was on the Mets, he had an ERA of 7 and a record of 0-2 combined bullpen and starting job. He just wasn't the same after 2015. After all these injuries and rejecting to go back down to the minors this season, he was finally designated for assignment on Friday. The bullpen is fine. Gesellman and Lugo as the long relievers. I'm cool with that. When Sewell comes back, he should be fine. I still think Familia is a good closer. He was leading the league in saves at one point, and I think he's like top 3 right now at the moment. So I think he's fine. His job is fine, to be honest. Now that I'm done with this pitch, actually, I'm not done with this pitching. Hold on, I'm not done with it yet. Let me just say one thing real quick. What is wrong with Jason Vargas? After an All-Star appearance with the Royals last season, he came onto the Mets and should be a 4th or 5th starter. Pretty reliable, but he's just fallen off a cliff in his first 2 starts. After getting bombed by the Padres of all teams and the Braves, his first 2 starts, he has records of 0-2 and a 16.2 ERA. As if he starts getting his stuff together, he should be fine. And the inconsistency of Wheeler and Matz, I think they can get their stuff together too, and they could be quality 3 or 4 starters, once the season starts going around. As if Syndergaard and DeGrom can't be the only ones that know how to throw a baseball correctly. The other three have to, help out. Those two can't just carry the entire starting rotation by themselves. They need help from the 3, 4, and 5 pitchers. Let me talk about this hitting real quick because as of right now, it's terrible. Cabrera and Cespedes, and at times Todd Frazier. Everybody else has to be able to hit this baseball. It can't just be, this lineup can't be carried by just those three people. Against the Braves, the entire lineup only hit 167 in those 3 games. And I believe they only scored like 2 runs in that entire series, which is not acceptable. The last 3 out of 4 games that they just played, the last series that they played against the Braves and currently the Rockies, they were shut out the last 3 out of their 4 games. How? How? You get perfect inning through 7 innings by Julio Terrahan, who gets bombed every other day, and some Sean Newcomb guy I've never heard of, and this Chad Bettis guy who's like new to this entire league. How? How? How do we not score any runs on those 3 people? How? I don't know. I just don't know anymore. It's it's painful to watch sometimes. I'm done ranting for now. You get my point. Let me just say some suggestions that I think that could help this team real quick. One of the catchers that I'm going to suggest right now is JT Realmuto from the Miami Marlins. There is reports once Stanton got traded to the Yankees and the Marlins had this fire sale while giving up Ozuna to the Cardinals that Realmuto was unhappy with the organization and he wanted to request a trade. One of the teams that was interested in Realmuto happens to just be the Mets. Not only is he a good defensive catcher, but since he's come back from the designated list, he's hitting the ball really well for the Marlins. And since the Mets are in win now mode, since there's no signs of rebuilding, I think Realmuto should be a catcher that the Mets should definitely look for. I think the Mets should look at would be Oakland A's catcher Jonathan Lucroy, who the Mets were looking at during free agency this year, but didn't sign him, and he signed with the A's on a 1-year deal. I think the rest of the team is fine. We just have to find a way to get out of this slump and start winning games again. I think this team has potential to make a run at the division, or at least make a wild card spot. I'm just waiting for this funk to end and we can start winning games again. Just rant. I don't want to be talking trash about my Mets anymore. Let me do something where I don't have to yell and get mad at. Yeah, Fortnite will do.